Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. In this video, it's something of a follow-up to a previous video we did where we were discussing surrogacy. There's been an article written in the Bangkok Post regarding surrogacy. Apparently there were some issues with respect to, now that Thailand is through the act that specifically deals with surrogacy issues here in Thailand, where once this was a fairly, let's say, laissez-faire jurisdiction with respect to matters pertaining to surrogacy, now it's actually quite a tight and rather restrictive jurisdiction with respect to matters pertaining to surrogacy. It's recently come to my attention that there have been multiple situations in which there have been those who have been detained at border crossings, presumably transporting material, be it biological, human biological material, or other sort of supportive material with respect to surrogacy that has been, where we've seen people detained for trying to transport these kind of items. Of interest recently was, there was an article in May 22nd, Bangkok Post, Customs aims to help to curb surrogacy. And to just quote directly from this, customs authorities are discussing whether to seek cooperation from Lao and Cambodian authorities to more closely monitor surrogacy services that are illegal in Thailand but may have shifted their bases to these two neighboring countries. Basically, what we need to take away from this overall is A, the Thais have gone ahead and made some seriously restrictive changes to the law with respect to surrogacy. Now, I would make a pretty strong argument that some change was necessary, that the system as it existed prior to the change in the law was essentially a system in a void. There really wasn't a lot of jurisprudence with respect to surrogacy because, quite frankly, the technology was not even thought of at the time that most of the laws that used to specifically pertain to surrogacy issues were initially drafted. But I would also argue that perhaps, and this is maybe more of an opinion-based thing, but maybe perhaps the rules that were created were a little bit more restrictive than were necessarily needed. But that being said, you know, it's Thai law, and that was their take on the situation, and they went ahead and made the laws that they deemed worthy for the country. That being said, there's also many other countries that have much more restrictive rules with respect to surrogacy. So it's not as if Thailand is somehow, you know, in some kind of a, you know, on the spectrum. They're somewhere in the middle. They're not an outlier out on one side or the other. But the thing to take away from this is, I would say to those who are watching this, who are really seriously considering surrogacy, first of all, I know that those folks, it's an expensive proposition, and it's a family. It pertains to one's family, so there's really nothing that hits more closely to home than that. So between expensive and family-based, you know, you don't have anything that quite inflames the passions as either one of those topics. The thing to take away from this video, I think, would be seriously think before undertaking surrogacy matters here in Thailand. And I strongly urge anyone seriously considering doing so to consult professional legal services and get professional legal advice regarding not just the legality, but the practical implications of undertaking surrogacy, not only in Thailand, but what's clear in this customs context, because Thai customs does not seem very interested in any of the sort of gray area nebulous issues surrounding surrogacy. Thai customs seems pretty much intent upon enforcing, well, a customs law, but not only that, this is an issue that it's almost of a personal nature, seemingly, it seems like, with people, and it seems like the customs authorities are almost taking it personally that people are even trying to transport this kind of material over borders. My only point with respect to this video, seriously contact legal professionals, get legal advice before undertaking these kinds of things in this, not just Thailand, but in this entire region, as it appears very clear to me that, again, enforcement is on the rise. Enforcement is being implemented in a very stringent manner, and it seems very likely that at least in the foreseeable future, that's not going to change. So for that reason, it would be a very good idea to look into perhaps other jurisdictions with respect to undergoing surrogacy procedures.